Hey, what's up, you guys? So today I want to talk about the new T-Bone plugin from Boz Digital Lab. If you guys watched my last video, you would remember that it was about the Tilty Q that Boz Digital Labs made. This is the Pro version, and this has added a lot of cool functionalities. You start off with an analog button, which when you turn it on, you actually add some saturation. It's really subtle, but when you add it in many instances, it's kind of noticeable. As saturation goes, I notice it has a little bit of harmonics, warms things up a little. As it says right here from the bottom, it adds some compression and some distortion. Saturation is very well known for rounding out peaks and thusly compressing. Besides that, you have the normal tilt functions, but you've added this little blue line, which is actually showing you the curve that you're adding to the frequency. It's not showing you the actual curve of the frequency, but it's showing you what you've done to change what's originally there. So if I bump this right here, you see you get a giant bump of the top end and a reduction of the low end because I'm adding top end of the tilt, and the opposite when you do it with the bottom end. So what you have is the same thing you had as always. You have the frequency selection and the volume. So we added a mix knob, which I believe was there already. You have mid processing, so you can choose to just do mid, side processing, or stereo processing. You have an A/B button, so you can go through settings, and you have a bypass button. You also have these really nice filters that, from what I understand, are ones of his own creation, where you have negative slope and positive frequency resonance slope. So these are super smooth, and one thing I've noticed that they sound very, very good. You also have this control that enables a boom and harsh control filters, which is very different from the high and low pass filters. So if, let's say, I bump a lot of low end and I add a high pass filter, as you can see, it's literally just a high pass filter. But if I add the boom control, it's doing a little bit of like a weird kind of shelf kind of thing where it's kind of reducing everything above or below the frequency depending on which control you use, and it kind of like rounds it out but smooths it out. You know, it's like really gently kind of like reduces the excess, so you can get rid of any excess subbiness or any boominess that happens, and that is pretty cool. And then the opposite will happen with the harsh control. So if we add some harshness and we bring this up, as we can see, we're doing a similar thing. It's very smooth and very nice. This is great for doing de-essing or getting rid of any excess boominess. So that's a really basic overview of the plugin. It sounds great, it looks cool, and now we'll just get into the mixing part. So here we have a really simple kind of like piano vocal song. And what we'll do is we'll do a quick little listen to without the plugins. And the things to listen to is I thinned out the piano and the reverb. I'm a little sick today, so if I do a little stuttering or talk a little weird, it's because I'm sick. So basically what I did was I thinned out the vocals, I thinned out the piano, and I thinned out the reverb. But with the piano, as we can see right here, I also added some resonant peak on the top end, but that is where I actually found the attack of the piano to really be. So I wanted to really accentuate that while only cutting off a little bit of bottom end. And even then, the filter is kind of flat. And then on the reverb, I'm band passing it and actually adding a lot more top end than there was originally, just because I wanted to maintain some detail, because it had a lot of subbiness to it. It sounded great, it just had a little bit of subbiness. Then on my software reverb here for the vocal, I just band passed it and added a little bit of top end. On the vocal, I did a little bit of roll off at 110 hertz, had a little bit of a resonant peak just because it got rid of the woolliness, but I wanted to kind of keep a little bit of low end because it kind of helped have a intimate sound. And then I boosted the top end and I did a little bit of deharshing, and I had some saturation on. So what we'll do now is we'll just take a listen, everything bypassed, and then I'll turn it on. And as always, when it turns gray like that, it's on. When it's blue, it's off.
Well, when I was hanging by a thread, you left me there, you left me there. Oh. Well, when I was hanging by a thread, you left me there, you left me there. Oh.
So I'm just kind of like making the vocal kind of be cleaned up a little bit, a little more top end, and then I'm also adding to the attack of the piano. So now what we can do is we can solo things out. We can just listen to them. Now that we listen to them in the context, we can listen to just them in solo and see how it's actually been affected. So we'll get more into the settings too now. So what I did is I did a EQ bump of the top end by 38.7%. Output gain minus 1.6. Analog is on, and I'm doing stereo processing. My frequency selection is at 839 hertz. Boom control is at 5%. Harshness is at 52. Really gentle resonant peak at the low end, and then really smooth negative peak at the top end. And 15,868 hertz is where my low pass is, and at 110 is where my high pass is. So Here is the vocal.
Well, when I was hanging by a thread, you left me there, you left me there. When I was hanging by a thread, you left me there, you left me there. Oh.
So hopefully what you can hear from that is it's kind of cleaner. Any of that subby wooliness has kind of been taken down, not completely taken away, but taken down. I want to keep some of that, but I don't want to having it kind of muddy at times, especially with the reverb. So now we'll listen to the piano real quick. At this point, I had a -3 resonance on the high pass and a +2.4 on the low pass, 9,812 hertz on the low pass, and 48 on the high pass. Boominess control was set to 77, even though I was only doing top end. That's because originally I had it at the low setting. The EQ tilt is 17.9%. Frequency is 749, and analog is on, and stereo processing. So we'll bypass it. So hopefully what you can hear from that is I'm really just accenting the top end and the attack of the piano. This is also the bypass. When it's orange, it's bypassed, and when it's black, it's active. Kind of similar to when it's orange here, it's bypassed. When it's gray, it's active. So hopefully you can hear from that. I'm just cleaning it out a little bit, not really trying to thin it out too much. And then on the Ocean Way reverb, which is a fantastic sounding reverb, by the way, again, I'm just kicking out subs. So if we listen to this, I'll bypass and I'll turn it on. So that's a fantastic sounding reverb. You know, I literally just basically bandpassed it and raised a little bit of top end by 55.4%. And then on my plate reverb, again, I just did bandpassing really and just did a little bit of a boost, 12.2%. So it's really simple. This entire session just has 4 EQs. All of these piano parts have really gentle compression just to kind of help with the peak control. And then on the vocal, I'm just doing 1176 compression to kind of get those really peakiness. Then I'm doing a little bit of a LA2A to kind of grab more smoother transitions. And then I'm just doing a little bit of saturation to just add some more body to it. And then on my master bus I'm doing just a little saturation again. And as you can see from my mix bus though, I'm hitting it really low because my output is only at -15.3 at its max at most points. So I have a pretty conservative mix. It's not loud at all because, you know, this is a mix. In most cases, you don't want to make it loud till mastering. On my master bus, there's nothing actually processing to do any affecting. There's just an analyzer, a codec toolbox, which is set on input mode because I'm doing a screen capture right now. When I have the codec, I'm just doing an MP3 codec, which shows me what is actually going to change when it gets converted to like YouTube quality and stuff like that. And then I have just a K meter. So, you know, you can really use this for a really broadband tone shaping and even finite control. We're gonna do one more listen through one more time, just with the T-bone disabled and then with it re-enabled.
Well, when I was hanging by a thread, you left me there, you left me there. Oh, in both your emptiness, you left me there. Well, make amends to this brokenness. Meet me halfway, I once begged. Oh, instead I strangled on. You just stood and watched me fall. Oh, again. Cut me down, you cut me down. From my core straight to the ground. Cut me down, you cut me down To this darkness now I'm found. Let it rain, Lord, let it rain. Soaking up this healing pain. Wash away, wash away memories of what was slain.
So hopefully what you could hear from that was the vocals didn't sound bad to begin with. In fact, they sounded really nice and intimate and warm. But the whole point of this was just to clean things out, to make the pianos have more of an attack, so they sound like they're standing out more. The vocal is kind of cleaner. The times that it does get drowned out or because of its muffliness no longer happen. And you can even fine tune and automate stuff like when you want more low end. This is just a really quick static mix. No automation has been done besides the clip gain on the vocals. But yeah, that's about it. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I would really recommend checking out this new T-Bone plugin from Boz Digital Labs. This is a great plugin. I really suggest it if you guys want a plugin where you could do stuff for EQing, reverbs, or stuff like that, and you guys just want bandpass filters with a lot more control, a lot of cool features and stuff like that, or if you need something for really, really broad to kind of like customized tone shaping of the overall broadband spectrum, this is an amazing plugin. This is probably going to become one of my more used plugins. I've been using the Tilty Wilty for a lot of mixes lately, and this is basically going to replace it completely. There's a lot of other plugins that you guys should really check out from Boz Digital Labs. He's got a bunch of free stuff. He's got some really nice other paid stuff, but some of the free stuff I would really suggest checking out is the Bark of the Dog. It's a really great plugin for like low end and stuff like that for kick drums. Panipulator is really great for I use it for when I'm testing out my mono and stereo instances. You can actually sum everything to mono and listen to just the right or the left side. Switch the right and left to see if maybe your speakers sound a little weird, or just make things have like a wider pan depth. Again, the Tilty Wilty was the free version, and now the T-Bone has replaced it. So hopefully I'll have more videos on Boz's stuff. Really check him out, and hope you like this video. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, tell me what you thought. Tell me if there's any ways to fix it. This is my first video actually using Pro Tools 11. So this plugin actually works in all DAWs, Mac and PC, as far as I know. It also works on my Pro Tools 10. Most of my videos are in Pro Tools 10 because a lot of my plugins that I use are still RTAS only. As soon as they become AAX, I will probably be doing all my stuff in 11. So yeah, that's about it for today. See you later, guys.